And we are live. Welcome, Crypto Warriors, to the Gentlemen of Crypto, episode 634. Today is Thursday, January 7th, and I'm your host, Bitcoin Zay, here to bridge the gap between cryptocurrency and the community, Monday through Friday at 10-ish Eastern. And I have some great news stories for you today, starting with our top story. Visa-backed Bitcoin startup to launch Lightning-based global payments app. XRP price soars 55% to crucial level as Bitcoin notches new highs at $38,500. PayPal, Coinbase invest in crypto tax automation startup TaxBit. And last but not least, Novogratz predicts young people will buy Bitcoin with their stimulus checks. But first, let's jump into some market updates for the day. Bitcoin today is $38,459, up 12%. Ethereum, a big night for Ethereum, up to $1,225, a new all-time high, up 7.8%. Stellar at 34 cents is up 9.5%. XRP at 33 cents is up 37.99%. Woo! Chainlink at 1662 is up 3%. Litecoin at 168.44 is up 2.9%. And last but not least, EOS is 329. Up today 3%. So as you can see in the market, a sea of green. It seems as though every single thing is green right now. You can basically throw money at the wall and make. I mean, it doesn't even matter what project you invest in. We're starting to get to that point. So as you can see, a sea of green here. Maybe a few that are red just because they have some big jumps over the week. But as you can see, it is alt season. It seems like, and if you have altcoins, if you have different coins other than Bitcoin, this is a chance to make life-changing money. Personally, I've made 100x before. I know other people who've done 100x on coins. It's great to see just get some of these altcoins and hold. But of course, long-term Bitcoin to me is the better option. So let's jump into some of the comments. I know we have people coming in. Hey, what's going on? Too Rich to Miss, P-Man Van, everybody joining in. Make sure you like and share the video to your crowd, your network as well. Definitely want to make sure we get this good news out here. As the bull market starts, you will see a lot of people who have shows now. They have courses, they have podcasts, just kind of out the blue. The Gentlemen of Crypto, we're at episode 634. Been here through bear markets, bull markets, doesn't matter. We're here. So we want to make sure everybody gets that good news and from a reputable source. So let's jump into our first story of the day. Visa-backed Bitcoin startup to launch Lightning-based global payments app. Oh yeah. So Zap is announcing Strike Global, a Bitcoin payments app for global remittances. Zap was created by CEO Jack Mallers, a good guy who I've spoken about a lot. He goes in depth between standard fiat transfer mechanisms and Lightning powered mechanisms at Strike Global. Lightning network, if you don't know, you have Bitcoin as the base layer, and then you have Lightning as the layer 2 payment layer. It's faster, it's cheaper. You can send payments without actually using Bitcoin itself, so you don't have those wait times. Strike allows you to get paid in Bitcoin, much like Russell Okung, my friend Russell, who's here in Charlotte with me, who plays for the Panthers. He accepts half of his salary in Bitcoin through Strike, and you can automatically withdraw money from the user's bank account, exchange it into BTC, and exchange it back and forth. So this is a great development for anybody who is looking to integrate Lightning into their network because Bitcoin is cool, but there are a lot of cool tools you can use on top of it in order to have a payment system like this. Other exchanges like Kraken, they have promised to introduce a Lightning integration in 2021. And Binance recently added SegWit address support for Bitcoin finally after years, making it cheaper for people to join. So one of the best parts about this industry is it never stops. And this is another story that we can add to the list of things that Bitcoin has done. We've got to a point where Visa stopped laughing at us, and now Visa has joined us. And talking to the head of crypto with Visa, they have a lot of big things coming. Shout out to Kai Sheffield, talking with him a lot. They have a lot of good things coming in the crypto world. They're all for it because as a payment system, it's actually better than Bitcoin. But as a settlement or a reserve system, of course, Bitcoin is best so far. So let's take a look back and see if we have more people that joined in today. Peace to everyone, everybody coming in all at the same time. Expat Crypto, what's going on? Zuri, 2011, Grand Rising. Hey, crypto family, Lisa Lee. Crypto Culture, got my first 50x with yield over the summer. Yeah, it feels good. Whenever it happens, you're like, man, I can't believe, this happened, but this is literally the biggest transfer of money in our life. Expat Crypto, Isaiah, do you do consulting? If so, how do we contact you? Also, do you do signed copies of your books? Yes. So if you want to contact me, the best way is through email, which I will put in the chat here. And if you email me here, we can discuss it more. Let's see. And Leroy Forbes, what's going on, brother? Madam Crypto, Malik Howard, Jamal J, Ronald Jackson, all of our supporters for a long time. Also, I want to give a shout out to Instagram. We're starting to do IG Lives so that people on Instagram can get this information as well. Maybe transfer over to YouTube so you can ask those questions. But thank you for everybody jumping in. Will45, what's going on? Shout out to everybody on IG. Can't see everybody, but hey to you all as well. So let's jump into our next story of the day. Oh man, I can't wait to talk about this. Simply because a lot of people who are in the market are starting to rain on XRP. XRP price soars 55% to crucial level as Bitcoin notches new high at $38,000. Man, so XRP just won't die. I don't know. It won't go away. It's not finished. One of the best parts about this industry is that even with an SEC investigation, you can gain 55% overnight. I mean, Jesus, that's what I mean by just throwing anything at the wall and seeing if it sticks. XRP is hilarious because it is, as we all know, a shitcoin that has no value. It's being investigated by SEC. There was a pre-mine. Even the founder, Jeb McCaleb, sold most of his XRP and used it to buy Stellar. So one of the things you want to pay attention to this market is even if you see these headlines, oh, XRP went on 55%, don't go buy it right now. This is probably the worst time to buy it. The money has been made. But it says here XRP abruptly comes back from the dead, having previously lost a substantial amount of its value due to legal issues. XRP saw a sudden rebirth this week, rising from 23 cents to 35 cents in a single day. I think a lot of that had to do with just the amount of money entering the market. The crypto market has just passed $1 trillion in market cap. $1 trillion. We're almost a top 10 asset in the world. And XRP is basically just getting a runoff from that because people are buying whatever seems cheap. They're just buying whatever. Like, I can't miss this bull run. And I'm with you there. We've been saying it. I've been saying it for 8 years. Whatever you accumulate, you don't want to miss the hyper Bitcoinization cycle, which I think we're starting. And we'll finish up this year where you may see $100,000 Bitcoin. I would hate for you to have to hold XRP waiting for it to come back at some point. But this is some funny news just because, again, XRP will not die. And let's look at some of the comments. Madam Crypto, I'm so jealous, still waiting to get into Clubhouse. I ran out of invites. I wish I could. Cicely M, do you think Ethereum will eventually leap over BTC? No, not at all. Hasn't proven itself. And every time the price goes up, transactions get slower. So essentially, as the price gets higher, the way it works is actually worse. They got to fix that first before you can get to that point. Marcellus Love, good morning. Let's see, Jizzy Mac, $1 trillion market cap. Wow, exactly. Seeing crypto with a pre-$100 million market cap, and then now we're at $1 billion, and then on to $1 trillion. I mean, that's ridiculous. So just want to remind people that, again, this is a special time in history. You just happen to be living in it, but I know when it's happening, it doesn't seem like it. It's much like I had a friend compare it to, we're watching LeBron play, who's probably the best player of all time, but nobody really cares that much because, old people talk about Jordan or somebody else or Kobe, and the newer people are talking about other players, but we're watching greatness. We're watching Bitcoin become mainstream, and you love to see it. So let's get into our next story of the day. Oh man, this one, to me, just proves what we've always said, that Coinbase is the Fed, so is PayPal. PayPal, Coinbase, they both invest in crypto tax automation startup TaxBit. All right, so TaxBit, a firm providing cryptocurrency tax automation software, says it has secured investments from PayPal and Coinbase, as well as its existing investor Winklevoss Capital, who owns the Gemini exchange. The amount invested was not disclosed, but they talk about the importance of tailored software solutions like TaxBit and driving widespread cryptocurrency adoption. You want people to pay their taxes, but Bitcoin, it was built for you to be self-sovereign. These tools do help people who use these exchanges. I personally don't, but if you use these exchanges, you can easily download your tax liability for the year in crypto using services like this. The problem is they just handed it over to the feds, even if there was no wrongdoing. They basically just took everybody in a clump and was like, well, everybody's either guilty or we don't know. And they just handed it all over. So everybody's information that's on Coinbase or PayPal is definitely getting, you're going to get taxed on there. But it just proves what we've been saying. Anytime PayPal is doing something, we know that they're a standard payment system. They have to go through US regulations. Coinbase is suddenly, fastly becoming just like them, which is why I believe they're having the Coinbase IPO. They see the writing on the wall. Hey, we're basically like PayPal. People are going to figure out, well, then shit, why don't I just use PayPal? Like, why would I use Coinbase? They shut down every time the market goes up. They've been in the New York Times for racial discrimination, or as far as social discrimination, not caring about social issues, also underpaying women and people of color. Why would I use Coinbase? Exactly. So PayPal, I think both of them, they're kind of arm in arm as far as the regulation side. But again, this just proves what we've already said. And let's jump back into some comments today. Let's see. Imas Sakin, pump and dump. Yeah, for XRP, I think that was an exit pump for a few investors. Lisa Lee, do you think true DeFi can be built on Bitcoin blockchain? Yes, it has already started. For those of you who are not familiar, I'll type it in here. DeFi, decentralized finance, is often attributed to Ethereum, but there are solutions where you can actually participate in the DeFi market, and all you have to do is use a service called RSK or a service called Sovereign. And what they are is they are open protocols for decentralized financial tools. Sovereign allows you to control your keys and still make money on staking your Bitcoin. So you control the keys, but you can actually stake it to earn interest. The same thing with Unchained Capital. Unchained Capital allows you to get loans in Bitcoin, to loan out Bitcoin, to actually earn interest over time, but you control your keys. So Bitcoin DeFi is actually bigger than Ethereum. It's just slower to move because it is something that you have to develop over time. The Ethereum DeFi people were just seeing dollar signs. I remember when it was less than $1 billion market cap, and then it shot up. I think the total DeFi market is $16 billion market cap. So it was a lot of hype. A lot of people lost money this summer through Ethereum, but I think Bitcoin DeFi will be much more secure. Let's see. Jamal J, not if you're in New York. Actually, I believe Sovereign is a decentralized app, so you should be able to use Sovereign pretty well, and you connect it to your own personal wallet. So as long as you have a Bitcoin wallet, you can use Sovereign, you can use RSK tools. Let's see. Dewan Trade, shout out to the guy. Shout out to you, brother. Shout out. Let's see. Ronald Jackson, great info. Zay, hey, brother from another mother. Another Jackson. What's going on, brother? And I want to say what's up to IG people. It's kind of sideways. One question we have on there is money talk. So how high Ethereum do you think it will go? It's already right there at its market cap. If I had to make a prediction, I think it'll do something similar to Bitcoin in 2017. And if you need to know what Bitcoin's prices were in 2017, it ended up going to 17,000, 18,000 at the end of the year. So I think it'll be similar in that regard as far as volume, but as far as use case, they still got a long way to go. So let's get back into it. And our last story of the day, oh man, so this is as predictable as it gets, but Mike Novogratz, he's a pretty well-known name. So people listen to him in the Bitcoin space, but Novogratz predicts young people will buy Bitcoin with their stimulus checks. Thanks, Mike, for telling us what we already know. For those of you who are getting a stimulus check, I want to show you, the IG people can't see it, but if you are on YouTube, you can see this. There's a website called bitcoinstimulus.net. If you go there, it'll show you your $1,200 stimulus back in March, or I'm sorry, back on April 15th, is now worth $6,928.84. That is an increase of 477%. If you put your entire stimulus into Bitcoin, you would have almost 4 times the amount of money that you started with. Now, what I want to remind people is this is not something that's going to, repeat necessarily. However, it is good to note that if you have stimulus and then you took it and you bought a bunch of bullshit with it, this next time around, why not put some into Bitcoin, if not most, and then let it grow over time? Because I can guarantee you that's a better stimulus than them giving you a one-time or two-time check. That's garbage. Everybody right now should take it as a slap in the face that the government thinks $1,200 or $600 or even $2,000 is enough money to sustain people after 9 months of sitting inside and not being able to get jobs. So Mike Novogratz brought that up, that people would buy Bitcoin with the stimulus checks. Hey, I don't like the Federal Reserve, but let's keep them open. Keep printing that money. Yes, more money comes, it goes right into the Bitcoin market because nobody trusts the dollar anymore. As Michael Saylor said, the dollar is a melting ice cube, and I tend to agree there. The CEO of Galaxy Digital, Mike Novogratz, spoke to CNBC Squawk Box amid the surreal image of a Wall Street apparently unfazed by the commotion in the Capitol yesterday. As you saw, we had a lot of angry white people who showed up at the Capitol and broke through. Well, they let them in, basically. It wasn't like a siege. But the markets basically reacted to it. You had a lot of dumps, people, a lot of uncertainty. But you know what happened with Bitcoin? Went up over 2,500 overnight, because in times of uncertainty and in times of prosperity, Bitcoin is going to succeed. That's why it's there. So he stated here, a lot of stimulus will find its way into the markets. Certainly when it comes to young people's hands, they're going right to their Robinhood accounts. One of the most unique things last time was seeing how many people bought Bitcoin with the exact amount of stimulus. Boom, boom, exactly, boom. Because at this point, with all the printing from the Fed, it devalues the currency. So devalue the currency, prices rise, stock prices get higher because they're doing stock buybacks, but it's an artificial way to describe the economy. So what happens? Our economy starts getting worse, interest rates start rising. In order to defeat that, print more money. And then as more money just keeps getting printed, then you got to give another stimulus. Then you got to people buy more Bitcoin. So it is basically a closed loop that will continue, that has already started, and we're just starting to see the benefits of that now. So that's definitely why people are saying Bitcoin could be over 100K by the end of the year, because at some point with the printing and the constant buying of Bitcoin by institutions, there's not going to be many sellers, and it's not going to be many ways or many people that can afford a whole Bitcoin. They can buy Satoshis, but it's getting close. And at this point, if you've been listening to us, hope you got your bags packed, because it looks like we may be on the 40K soon. So let's see who we have in our comments. J Tempo, I'm a super noob, so my bad if you answered this before. Is it a good idea to buy Bitcoin on Cash App? Yes, very easy, and you can move it off of Cash App into your own wallet. Let's see. Hey, Super Date. Hey, what about EOS coin? I don't deal with it. I don't like the governance, but it does seem like a good play for people who think it can take over Ethereum at some point. I mean, when Ethereum was $3 or $7 back in the day, I remember buying it, thinking it has a chance. And then EOS came along later, and I think they have a chance as well. Too rich to miss, 22 billion in total value locked in DeFi. Exactly. I didn't check DeFi stats probably for a week or two. So it went from 16 billion to 22 billion now. Wow. Dewan trades, the crypto community is like social media, and the institutions are like the mainstream media, whom are behind the information curve. Exactly. Shout out to crypto culture. Yep. Make sure you smash the likes. Shout out to Kenzie. I'm so proud of him. I'm so glad he held to this point. One of the bigger names coming up. Cicely M, I hear the BTC is slow compared to other coins. Can you explain that a little? Yes. So when people talk about transaction speed, Bitcoin's blockchain has the most transactions or the most big transactions of any chain there is. So it is slower as far as confirmation times, but that's actually good. It actually gives you more security. You can be assured with a quote unquote slow moving Bitcoin that is going to get there. Other coins, not so much. They can claim they're faster, but that's because nobody uses their blockchain. They can claim that the speed or transactions from peer to peer need to be faster so you can buy a cup of coffee. Bitcoin wasn't built for that. Bitcoin is a federal or a world reserve currency. That's what it was built for, or that's what it has become. And one thing with Bitcoin is, if you're transferring $1 million, who cares if it takes 10 minutes? Who cares if it takes an hour? It's still faster than 6 days, 7 days, 8 days. That is the promise of Bitcoin. So it is slower than other coins, but other coins, nobody really uses them. So of course, your blockchain is wide open. Think of it like a highway. Bitcoin's highway is packed with traffic, but the destination is where everybody's trying to go. Most of these other blockchains, the highway is empty. It looks like 85 in the South when COVID first hit. Empty. You can drive straight down there. So of course your speed is going to be faster, but that doesn't mean it's a better coin. Ashley Robles, yo, okay, y'all shout out my boyfriend Nate from Miami. He watches you guys religiously. Hey, Nate from Miami, what's up, brother? Shout out to you. You got a good girl here. She definitely shouted you out, so I can shout you out. Shout out to you. Madam Crypto, my 7-year-old didn't want the $600 cash, told me to put it in his BTC wallet. Oh yeah, the kids are gonna save us all. Even if we have some adults who don't believe in it, kids are always the ones that are into it. And there's an 8-year-old somewhere that's gonna eat our lunch. I hope I'm one of the people that teach them. Too rich to miss. Yeah, everybody, let's shout out Nate from the MIA. Shout out, shout out, shout out. And then crypto culture say coming up. Let's let's go. You are. More people starting to know you, starting to get more interviews. That's what happens when you hold through a bear market. Just pursue. You don't worry about price. You do what you got to do. Love your story. Like I said, Justin, Bitcoin vegan. A lot of people did that. So let's see. A few more comments here before we finish up today. Again, thank you all for watching on IG. This is available on YouTube, The Gentleman of Crypto. I probably should have pinned it at the bottom, but my apologies. I am not big in Instagram. I just got a social media manager this week, so I'm learning. Bear with me. It'll be there next time, I promise. So yes, YouTube, The Gentleman of Crypto. Check me out there. And before we get to our ending, let's see. Wayne Robin, what is your opinion on Theta? I have not checked it out yet, but a lot of people have asked me about Theta. A lot of people have asked me about DOT. I have to do an in-depth look at both and Link. So those are the three probably top ones I get right now. Let's see, Jizzy Max, start stacking sats for your kids now. Exactly. One thing I like to tell people is your kids are going to hate you if they can look in history and say you lived during the time where Bitcoin was less than $100,000. Now Bitcoin is reserve currency of the world, and we don't own any. You just sat there and watched it. What did you do? You were making memes on the internet or saying that it was a Ponzi scheme? I hate you, Mom, or I hate you, Dad. That's what's going to happen. So for those of you who don't want that to happen, I would say stack some sats just for your kids at the very least. Zuri 2011, your opinion, how will it benefit someone buying Bitcoin if you know you won't be able to purchase one Bitcoin no time soon? Because you don't need one Bitcoin. You want to think of it in Satoshis. For example, 1 million Satoshis right now is about $380. 1 million Satoshis. So 1 million Satoshis, if you have one Satoshi to $1 at some point in the future, which I think will happen, we'll have parity there, you are a millionaire essentially in waiting. So if you think about it that way, stack Satoshis as much as you can. Forget trying to buy one whole Bitcoin. You want to get there, but you can earn Bitcoin. You can sell goods for it. You can trade. You can actually earn interest on it. There's a lot of ways to do it. In fact, my book, Bitcoin in Black America, second edition, if you buy the book, there's 3 webinars attached. One of them is called 8 Ways to Earn Bitcoin and Cryptocurrency Without Trading. So there's a lot of ways to earn it. Even if you can't get to one Bitcoin, it doesn't matter. If you have 0.1 Bitcoin and Bitcoin is worth $100,000, you have $10,000 worth of Bitcoin. And even still, forget the price. It's about what percentage of the 21 million do you own? With a scarce asset, if you own a large percentage of that scarce asset, there's no more being created. So the value is constantly going to go up anyway. So don't worry about the price too much. Stack sats as much as you can, because I think at some point, 1 sat will equal $1. Some people are even more bullish than that. They think 1 sat will equal 1 cent in the future. I don't know if we'll be around to see that, but it would be great to see, because if 1 sat equals 1 cent, you're talking about people with 1 million Satoshis being worth, $10, $100 million. So that is essentially what we're saying here on a long enough time scale. And if you think it's impossible, going from 6 cents to 38,000 is harder than going from 38,000 to 1 million. So, for most people, they're like, man, how is that possible? Trust me, the fact that it went from 6 cents or, it went from messaging boards all the way up to $38,000 per coin, trust me, 1 million is definitely in play in the next 10 years, in my opinion. Let's see, Peacemaker, can you put your IG link in the description, please? Yep, follow me there, Bitcoin Zay LLC. And again, like I said, it's the first time going live on IG as well as on the show, but try to make sure we get that content out, because I see a lot of people on IG getting scammed in the Bitcoin market, listening to people who've never owned Bitcoin, never used it, or may have a little bit, made some money, and now they're experts. No, you need to speak with real experts, myself, King, people in the chat. I mean, some of the people that's been watching us, they're just as smart as we are. So I would love for people on Instagram to come over to the YouTube side, check it out, get into the chat. A lot of these people can help you out as well. So we're finishing up today. Again, a couple of announcements. One, just want to say that I am the new host of the brand new show on CoinDesk called Community Crypto. That will be airing in February. We're filming all month. So make sure you check that out in February when it comes. Also, Bitcoin in Black America, second edition, is available right now. You can actually go to bitcoinandblackamerica.com and get that book, as well as access to the 3 webinars. A lot of good stuff coming. NFT space, I mean, Bitcoin space. It's so many projects we have going, and I can't wait for you all to see them. But thank you all for watching today. Thank you all, Instagram. I promise it'll be better as we get along. But thank you all for watching, and have a great Thursday. Cheers.